Here's the latest audio research news from The Transmitter. The Transmitter's reading list: 6 upcoming neuroscience books, plus notable titles in 2025, by Francisco J. Rivera Rosario. Upcoming titles: What is Intelligence? Lessons from AI About Evolution, Computing, and Minds, by Blazawera y Arcas, MIT Press. The convergence between neuroscience and artificial intelligence in the past few years has sparked lively discussions, including debate about what both fields consider to be fundamental aspects of cognition, consciousness, and intelligence. In his new book, AI researcher Blazawera y Arcas synthesizes ideas from computer science, machine learning, and neuroscience to provide a bold perspective on intelligence, arguing that the ability of a system to predict may be fundamental not only to intelligence but also to life itself. Publication date: September 23, 2025. The Great Balancing Act: An Insider's Guide to the Human Vestibular System, by Jeffrey Sharon, Columbia University Press. How does the vestibular system integrate a barrage of sensory information to enable animals to navigate the world? In The Great Balancing Act, Jeffrey Sharon addresses these and other questions about this elegant sensory system that helps regulate proprioception and spatial reasoning. Sharon discusses how the vestibular system evolved and how it interacts with brain areas that process vision, abstract thought, and memory. He ends the book on a forward-looking note, explaining how insights from basic neuroscience are propelling exciting advances in prosthetic implants and gene therapies to help rebuild cellular structures in diseased vestibular systems. Publication date: October 14, 2025. Why Brains Need Friends: The Neuroscience of Social Connection, by Ben Rain, Penguin Random House. Neuroscientist Ben Rain offers readers a nuanced assessment of the relationship between social psychology and neuroscience. A well-known science communicator, he skillfully distills years of social and behavioral neuroscience research to explore why social connection is essential for humans' mental health and well-being. Rain places neuroscience at the center of his new book, arguing that to date, the conversation around loneliness and isolation in modern-day society has failed to incorporate it. Publication date: October 14, 2025. How to Change a Memory: One Neuroscientist's Quest to Alter the Past, by Steve Ramirez, Princeton University Press. In this new page-turner, Steve Ramirez provides an overview of the history of memory research with a personal touch. Part scientific exploration, part memoir, Ramirez delivers a wide-ranging assessment of the field, all while weaving in his journey as a scientist and his relationship with his colleague and friend, neuroscientist Xu Liu. He recounts the scientific advances that broaden neuroscience's understanding of memory storage and encoding, analyzes how the field is trying to address debilitating memory disorders, and examines the extent to which memory research is intertwined with the human condition. Publication date: November 4, 2025. Neuroethics: The Implications of Mapping and Changing the Brain, by Walter Glannon, MIT Press. Ethical considerations frequent the minds of clinicians and basic neuroscientists alike. Here, Walter Glannon considers the past 25 years of the neuroethics field and offers his take on some of its most pressing issues. He tackles questions about the safety and efficacy of psychedelic drugs for psychiatric disorders, brain-computer interfaces, the increasing interactions between neuroscience and AI, behavioral control and neural interventions, and much more. Publication date: November 11, 2025. Wired for Words: The Neural Architecture of Language, Gregory Hickok, MIT Press. In 424 pages, cognitive neuroscientist Gregory Hickok surveys the landscape of neurolinguistic research, providing a detailed analysis of the neural mechanisms that regulate speech, including motor coordination, word recognition, and perception and encoding. He carefully considers some of the predominant research ideas that have shaped our understanding of the neural architecture of language and evaluates their pervasiveness. In the exemplary case of the dual-stream model of speech processing, Hickok argues that even though some of its core ideas remain useful, its persistence could obstruct further progress in our understanding of language perception and brain organization. Publication date: November 25, 2025. Also published in 2025. Cross-Cultural Perspectives on Mind and Brain, edited by Judy Isles and Melissa Perot, Academic Press. The eighth volume of Cross-Cultural Perspectives on Mind and Brain places its focus squarely on how indigenous knowledge can contribute to and enrich scientific understanding of the brain. Judy Isles and Melissa Perot feature essays written by cognitive neuroscientists, neuroethicists, and philosophers about the importance of indigenous perspectives in modern brain research and how to improve global neuroliteracy through community-tailored science communication. Publication date: August 4th, 2025. Space, Time, and Memory. Edited by Lynn Nadell and Sarah Aronowitz, Oxford University Press. As sweeping as its title, this summer release examines three mystifying concepts through the lenses of philosophy, psychology, and neuroscience. Edited by Lynn Nadell and Sarah Aronowitz, the book sprang from a workshop of the same name held at the University of Arizona in 2022 and features contributions from a variety of brain experts, including Sharon Ranganath, Ida Momenijad, and Georgi Bujaki. Nadell and Aronowitz curate a range of perspectives to showcase the value of taking a multidisciplinary approach to understanding the fundamental processes of the brain. Publication date: June 28, 2025. Elusive Cures: Why Neuroscience Hasn't Solved Brain Disorders and How We Can Change That, by Nicole Rust, Princeton University Press. In this ambitious book, neuroscientist and transmitter contributing editor Nicole Rust evaluates her field's triumphs and failures and the future of neurological disease studies. She provides a balanced critique of the molecular neuroscience framework long used to study brain disorders and proposes an alternative for how to move forward. Laying out her grand plan, Rust calls for a shift away from seeing neurological diseases as step-by-step, domino chain processes to a more holistic view of them as states within complex, shifting dynamical systems. Read an excerpt from Chapter 9 of Elusive Cures. Publication date: June 10, 2025. Natural Neuroscience: Toward a Systems Neuroscience of Natural Behaviors, by Nakhim Ulanovsky, MIT Press. The call to study behavior under naturalistic conditions has drawn increasing attention among modern-day neuroscientists, and Nakhim Ulanovsky finds himself at the forefront of this movement. In Natural Neuroscience, he asks the field to move away from overly controlled experiments and outlines the advances that are making it possible to examine behavior under more naturalistic conditions. Ulanovsky describes in detail how this research is helping the field to understand navigation, sensory processing, memory, and more. Read an excerpt from Chapter 1 of Natural Neuroscience. Publication date: April 15, 2025. Textbooks: Neuroscience: Exploring the Brain, Enhanced Edition 5th edition, by Mark Baer, Barry Connors, and Michael Paradiso Jones, and Bartlett Learning. The classic undergraduate introductory neuroscience textbook by neuroscientists Mark Baer, Barry Connors, and Michael Paradiso is a mainstay in neuroscience departments everywhere. As the book celebrates its 30th anniversary, it remains as relevant as ever. The new edition features chapters that are updated with the latest research advances, improved visuals and figures, and 26 new Path of Discovery essays, in which neuroscientists tell stories about their key contributions to the field. Essay contributors include Emery Brown, who discusses his work on brainwave oscillations, Ghislaine Deheen-Lamberts, who examines the value of studying linguistic networks in infants, and Gul Dolan, who shares how she studies psychedelics in octopuses. These editions reinvigorate a classic textbook that has already taught scores of young neuroscientists. Publication date: July 14, 2025. Theoretical Neuroscience: Understanding Cognition, by Xiaojing Wang, CRC Press. In his new textbook, computational neuroscientist Xiaojing Wang dives deep into theory and modeling to put the field of quantitative and computational neuroscience into historical perspective. He deftly guides readers through biophysical models of single neurons, recurrent network dynamics of neuronal populations, and everything in between. In the textbook's final chapter, Wang shares his forward-looking views on some of computational neuroscience's most pressing mysteries, such as the dynamical nature of the restless brain, what constitutes human cognitive uniqueness, and whether brain theory can incorporate emotion. Check out Wang's conversation with Paul Middlebrooks about the book. Publication date: February 27, 2025. This audio was created using artificial intelligence. Stay up to date with the latest neuroscience news and perspectives at thetransmitter.org. Follow Audio Research News on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.